All right. On my last stream, I noticed that the audio, while present and somewhat clear, felt, hmm, I don't know what the word to say is. It didn't sound right. It sounded too like muffled, like I had the microphones pointed at something other than my mouth. So I'm gonna try and see. I mean, these things are right here. You wouldn't think that it'd be a problem. I mean, it's a freaking lapel mic. You're thinking me I have no problem picking up my voice, but we'll see. We'll try this, and you can let me know. Hey, dude. Welcome to the chat. All right. I am trying to see how to get my audio level higher, not so low. How about that? That's a little louder, right? I think it is. My little gain bars are telling me it's higher. Let's check my filters. Do I have filters turned on? Hey, dude. How's it going? Hmm. This is called an expander. I don't know. Does that help the audio or hurt the audio? Let me know. I'm trying to get it to sound less muffled because last time it sounded like the microphone was under a pillow, and I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be a little more clear than the last time I did it. So let me know if that's still good, or if the expander sucks, and I'll turn the expander off. Now that being said, my voice is a little messed up right now. I got a cold. I'm ready for a nap, but I'm also ready for some boost. So we're gonna do some tuning on this car and hopefully get it all wrapped up. Hopefully this is the last go around on that, and then it's just a matter of doing some little things that I don't have to do on the dyno, some motorsport stuff and all that. But I'm hoping to get all the power stuff done, clean up a little bit of the wiring, get the keypad mounted, and all that on it here pretty soon. But I gotta get the dyno part done first. That's the hardest part, and then the rest of it's just tedious little stuff. So turn the way ESQ cycle up. It's more important than the audio. Okay, all right, that sounds good. Sounds good. Let's do that then. Let's just crank it up. Um, so what should I start with? 80%? 400%? Like what kind of boost control action should I be doing? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the wastegate at 0 to make sure that the boost control being hooked up the way it is going to function correctly at all. And then we're going to add just 20% and see where it goes. And I'm not going to add any closed loop control to it. I'm going to just do it open loop, and we're going to open loop it at just a couple percentages, boop, 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 and just make sure that it's tracking fine, because we got this thing hooked up differently than it was before. So just going to grab this right now. The whole table is going to be 0, and then I'm going to grab it, say 20, and try again, is what's going to happen there. Um, my targets, though, should stay. Oh, really? Okay. What is that? Engine temp. Why is that clamp at 0? 0 is off. Okay. 0 is off. That's fine. That's fine. That's relevant anyways because we're going to be open loop. We're not going to be closed loop for the first two polls. Alrighty, got that. And let's get the dyno hooked up. Where's the keyboard? There, it's out there. Whoops. This thing sounds like a diesel out here. Exhaust, that is. This exhaust has got something. That does not sound like an AJ, let me tell you. Having a high compression 234 with my cams, that exhaust note does not sound like an EJ. That is actually pretty intense. It does not sound like an EJ. pretty gnarly sounding. I'm gonna check that cam time, make sure the cams are at 0 and it's not like advanced right now or something. Cams ain't good. All right. Okay. All right, all right, all right. All right, so we got that. We got accept on that. We're gonna go back to this. And then we're gonna go back on here. Whoa, that's really big. It's all the numbers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alice in Wonderland. Wah! All right. All right, temperature, where we at? Coolant temp, 165. I think it's going to get any higher than that. With the fan blowing directly on the radiator. Fuel pressure spot on. Oil pressure is 100 psi. So oil's pretty cold. I'm so happy the gear selector works right now. Big smiles right there. Okay, the speedo's off of it though. It says 65 right now. The dyno says we're doing 60. So that could be tweaked a little bit. Feels good. All right. It's the last car. We're going to need to tweak this for sure. Hey, hey, Kenneth. All right. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, well, I brought you back a surprise, but if you're streaming, it doesn't work. Why? Why doesn't it work?
Are you gonna eat ice cream while you tune?
Fuck yeah, I'll eat ice cream while I tune.
You want an Oreo or an M&M?
Oreo.
Oreo?
Sure, please. It's not peanut M&M, is it?
Yeah. What's that?
It's not peanut M&M, is it?
No, it's just regular M&M.
Gotcha. All right, let's see here. I turned the ramp speed down so that the pull would take longer. That gets more load on the car. It did hit 22 pounds, though, which seems a little high to me for wastegate pressure. Let's double check that the solenoid was at 0%. Okay, it was at 8.8%. That's due to the latency that they have on them. Man, there's hardly any exhaust pressure. That's still so weird to me. That it feels almost like it's not accurate. The exhaust pressure is so low. Look at that. Exhaust pressure doesn't even reach boost pressure until 6,600 RPM. Granted, it's only 21-ish PSI, but still. I guess it was 22 pounds. Turbo speed, very linear. 125,000 though. Lambda. I should raise the targeted space there. I could use more fuel up there. Timing, 7. I would say that I'm pretty conservative right there. And that's probably why there's a big dip right there. Too conservative. Okay, that's odd. So you see the pressure is pretty smooth, but then it goes whoop, rich like that, does this, and the timing dips. That's weird. To figure that out, we're going to go to our air mass and see if our air mass calculation has a hump in it. And it does. Now that's kind of trippy too. Like, why would the air mass have a hump in it if the boost pressure is linear right here? So that's either VE map is doing something funky right there, or cam timing. Yep, cam timing's flat. Wow, that's interesting. You see that bump everywhere except boost. I mean, actually, you see it, the exhaust pressure dip right there. Why? Why does exhaust pressure dip right there? Exhaust pressure dips, and that's going to move us up on the VE curve. And then we go up the VE curve, that makes it richer and pulls timing out. So the question remains still, why does exhaust pressure dip right here? Is that right where the wastegate starts to open? I hope eating ice cream isn't too loud in your ears. Oh crap. Made me going to work. Yeah, man. I have a job I gotta go back to after this too. Alright. So we have some cause and effect going on here. We have a dip in the power because we have a dip in timing and an increase in fuel. We have a dip in timing and an increase in fuel because we're pushed up on the VE curve all of a sudden due to a drop in exhaust manifold pressure. But the question is, why did exhaust manifold pressure drop right there? That's the big question. And what's weird to me is, it's boost target, not boost pressure. Boost target goes like this. Yeah, boost pressure is super stable. Little tiny wiggle right here. Hmm. I wish I had an audio recording of that. I would do it again and see what the wastegate sounds like. Maybe the wastegate is hanging open right there, or changes frequency right there, and that might help explain what's going on there. Yeah, well, I'm going to go to the configuration. And I'm going to look at my output channel for the wastegate and see what frequency I set the boost control at. 28. That's what they're made to run, typically. So that should be fine. What could cause a reduction? Oh, it's a McFlurry. I know that. It's a new cup thing. I guess they got rid of the plastic, so it's more biodegradable. If I had to guess, by those little foldy lids on it instead of the hard plastic clear lid. They didn't want sea turtles wearing cone of shame, so they got rid of those lids. All right, well, let's do another thing. Let's check on that log. Let's go back to that log. Let's look at my throttle position and see if anything funky happened with the throttle. Nope, that is a plateau right there. Hmm. Well, I like using pressure ratio for fuel, but not if it acts funny. I don't like it if it acts funny. Why did it dip? There. Oh, look at this. Charge temp dropped like a rock through the pole there. And that's before the biggest drop, but maybe the fuel was not from the exhaust pressure. Maybe the exhaust pressure is from the fuel. Maybe this charge temperature drop, oh, that's really trippy, of 40 degrees over a short period of time added fuel, and that fuel richened up the engine, and that fuel caused the exhaust temperature to drop and contract a bunch. And when that happened, the exhaust pressure dropped. see, no, because air mass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, right here. Let's look at. Let's check that. Is that where that temperature transient is? Yeah. Right here. Okay, so if I go to health here, temperature drops really fast like that. Okay. And then our air mass goes up because the charge temp drops a lot. And when that drops, that makes manifold pressure drop because it gets really rich all of a sudden. And then it gets rich all of a sudden, then that amplifies it by pushing us up the fuel map up on here to a higher value. Let's go right here. Look at this. Okay, 106. Everything is fine. And then everything's actually that's while it's dropping. But right here in the middle of the rich transient, where are we? Big jump right there. So that jump right there could even just be the fact that my fuel map is set to go too rich too fast. And I just have too much fuel. I mean, that's a big jump on the VE table as it is. Wow, I annihilated that freaking blizzard. So really, that big jump might just be too much to begin with. Um, yeah, that's possible. Let's look at our closed loop and see what we're seeing there. So in the closed loop here, we're adding fuel before it. Okay, so that's actually good news because that means that it isn't that that big jump is too big. It means that the spot before it was too low. See, because here's our total corrected. If we look down here, we see we're adding fuel, 11%, and then it dips down and it's going, oh shit, let's pull some fuel back out. So really what it is, this area below it isn't aggressive enough. That's what we're looking at. So we'll start with that. Yeah, right here. So this 106 should be closer to the 110 range. That's what it should be. All right. I'm glad that we can talk that out together. Thanks for listening. So much of this is like cause and effect, right? You got to narrow it down and try and figure out what's going on. Because if you just grab something prematurely to make a change, it might not be the right one. Might not be the right. This has probably got to go up too right here if I had to guess. I mean, looking at it, looks like you would think it would have to go up. So we'll dump down to here. Let's see where that takes us. Okay, we're still here. Let's go down to 3,000. Where's our 3,000? That is here-ish, but I don't think we're up there on the map anymore. Oh, we are. We're close. Look at that right there. Okay, let's go to our log. And right there, we're only adding a tiny bit of fuel. Only adding 2%. Boy, that's pretty crazy to think about, right? That VE is going up that fast right there. That honestly makes you think two things. Honestly, it makes you think that I don't have enough resolution in the map right here. And also makes me realize that I'm in the wrong VE table. So let's see on that one. So much for my diet, huh? Annihilated McFlurry in like minutes. Nom, 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 nom. That's why I've gained some of my weight back right there. I went from losing 30 pounds to putting 7 back on. I'm gonna fat shame myself. I don't need you to do it. Uh, I was having lunch with these guys today. I just met them, and one of them said, I'm just a Conservative redneck. And, and that was fine. I don't care. Great. I'm I'm uh I'm both conservative and liberal and all kinds of things. Depends on what it is. And but anyways, I think he was feeling me out. And he said some I don't know, something came up and I made a joke. And it involved getting your dick smacked by a toilet seat. So he started laughing so hard he was crying. And he said to me, he said that was not linear enough for an engineer. I was like, oh, you think I'm an engineer? Oh, I get it. You think I can't have fun because I'm wearing glasses. But he didn't know. He just heard about my educational stuff and thought I was just a square. Then the whole conversation changed. One dick joke's all it took. There's this whole section right here, like that. Okay. All it takes is one dick joke sometimes. I'm thinking about adding a little more resolution right here in this range. Because I'm not going to be up here much, but right here we can hit this zone quite a bit. I might go 85, 90, 95, 100, 105 on it. I am doing right now. See if I have the room on it. I should have plenty of room. Yes. All right, so I'm going to add 95, and then I'm going to add 105, and then I'm going to add 115, like that. Okay, we're going to okay, and we're going to say yes. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go number one, and do the same thing. Add some more resolution to this thing. 95, 105, 15. And you got to click the new cell. If you let it go here, you'll just overwrite it again. So it's something to keep in mind. All right, we added some resolution in there. And if I want to find it, yep, like that. That should give me a little more ability to tweak those values in that rampy area. Okay. This might be low. We'll have to see. Do that right there. Okay. That's what I like. It's what I like. Careful work, good timing. Oh, Nolan. Yeah, good, good. I like how you changed your name to 234. That's good because that's you. This is his car, by the way. Do you think time belts and components in an area that need to be upgraded are an area I mean, yes. Yes. If you're, so how do I describe this logically? Okay, so you've got work, right? Work is basically displacement. So if I grab something and I move it this far, or I take a spring and I compress it, I've moved it, right? I've done work on it. Push car across the parking lot, right? You're doing work on it. You've displaced it a distance. That's work. How fast you can do it is power. Okay. So if you were able to push that car at 60 miles an hour, then you'd be fucking amazing. But uh, you'd be making about 30 horsepower, 20 or something horsepower, which you obviously we could never do. That's why we can only push it a few miles an hour. We can't make power. Our bodies don't have that, right? And so if I'm moving a valve that has mass and I move it a distance, then I do work. The faster I move it, the more power I'm expending. Okay. And the timing belt has to do that. The timing belt has to absorb horsepower. And that has to transmit horsepower, I should say. And there's going to be vibrations in there and um, oscillations because the crankshaft doesn't turn consistently, right? It speeds up and slows down as it's turning, almost like a square. It doesn't move smoothly in a circle. It speeds up, slows down, speeds up, slows down. And that belt goes tension, less tension, tension, less tension, tension, less tension. And the faster I do that, and the heavier my valve springs are, right? I put big valve springs on it. Now I got to be able to put out more power to compress those valve springs. Um, yeah, it should be upgraded. I mean, the factory one is made for lighter springs, lower RPM, less lift, right? I'm moving that valve a less distance on the factory cam. If I'm moving it on aftermarket, I'm moving it a further distance in the same time, right? Like one rotation at 3,000 RPM, that is a fixed amount of time. That's revolutions per minute. And you back that up, and you can do it in milliseconds. It's like, I don't know, 42 milliseconds or something. 72 degrees before. But one cycle will be 72 degrees, so it'll be 2 revolutions. Something like that. But now, instead of moving it 9 millimeters, I'm moving it 10.5. Okay, well, I just increased distance, therefore I've increased the work, and at the same speed, therefore I've actually done more power. So just to open the valves at the same RPM as before, without an increase in spring pressure or anything else, takes more power. Now I add spring pressure, because I also need those valves to shut as I start raising RPM. So for the same RPM with bigger cams, it takes more power. Now we're adding spring pressure, more power. Because not only am I just moving a mass, I also have to compress a spring. Okay, and then I'm going to increase the RPM on that engine or whatever too. So yeah, for sure, like it should be upgraded. Engineers are the most thing to blow stuff up for fun. Yeah, I don't know about that. We do get to blow stuff up sometimes, but it ain't just for fun. All right, I'm gonna put some. Gonna have to put air on the oil cooler pretty soon. That's it. Pressure starting to drop to normal range. 80 psi right now, blow pressure at 3,000, so we're good for a pull. Let's see how the one was went up. The thing is loud. This thing is loud, but it sounds so cool from the backside, especially at idle. It does not sound like an EJ. I think I said that before. Okay, I got on that one a little later than last time. You can see that, and I did. I was a little late getting on the throttle. Let's see if we had the same dip. We saw a little bit of a dip there, but the timing dip isn't there, right? But before we saw that whoop whoop with the timing, so that's not there. But again, I didn't get on it right here as much, so there's not much boost right here. So I could have goofed that up a little bit. Um, but the duty cycle and the air fuel looks smoother, right? It's pulling, pulling, pulling. It's actually pulling a bunch right there now. So now we can see how too rich it really is right here in this spot. Okay. So that was a combination of being too lean here, and so it had to add fuel, and then too rich here, and it was too rich it was gone too far. So we got to pull a little bit of that right here. And also I expand that map out, and so now that those zones were just linearly interpolated, and then they're going to be adjusted anyway. So we got that, and up here we're adding 7%. Look at that. We are pushing some air up here. Yeah, push some air. Okay, let's check that out. Driving wire is good. Oh, weird. It's not. It's almost full open. A little wiggle up there. Interesting. Cam control goes up and drops pretty quickly. But that's how these cams like to run. Uh, okay, power torque, air mass. Okay, we got some discrepancy here on the air mass by quite a bit. That's weird because I could have swore we fixed all that before. Now we've got this huge error. Trip. Huh. The throttle air mass is through the roof right here. What is going on? Okay, I had to tweak some stuff before because his pressure sensor went out. Now his pressure sensor is working, so maybe there was an issue with that sensor to begin with too, and it was off. You guys may not remember though, but I had to disable the functionality of a sensor, and now we got a new one in it. But man, that is 25% more according to the throttle than the map, and that's not right. So I was like, make a spare on this oil cooler because he didn't have the factory one. It's only this other one. Oh, getting old sucks. Okay, that's frustrating. It's frustrating to have to do this shit all over again. I still have a dip. And that dip looks like when the wastegate opens. I wonder how big his wastegate is. He might have a big 45 on here or something. It's possible. But man, see how the turbo speeds up too? When that dip happens, the turbo speeds up. Sometimes that's a sign of like a blow-off valve starting to lift. Turbo speed can actually go up a smidge. Um, like if it chatters for a second, you can get just a slight bit of like cavitation, essentially, right? A momentary stall just from the pressure wave changing, and then that'll resonate through the whole system. It's really apparent when you have compressor surge, like when you let off the throttle, you're doing a pull and rip between gears on some sequential cars. When you got a sequential and you grab the next one, if the throttle snaps shut and then you don't get your delays quite right, you might get some surge. And the the turbo loses grip of the air and literally the speed goes zoop, and it goes faster momentarily. Just goes zink and then it comes down. The pressure goes down, but the turbo speeds up. It kind of goes zoop. So you get these little funny trends on the shift. It's kind of like over here, kind of like this, but is going up with this little spike like this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Check the stream. Yeah, you can see that. So, okay. Well, here's a solution. Anyways, got a room here called Blow Things Up Lab, and it's where all the markets will go with static fire. Oh, okay, that's sure. Um, hey, Mark, no, that it was EMtron 4 bar both times. Headlight with duct here tomorrow. Sweet. And top 38. Really, a 38? Hmm. Hmm. Something is odd. What is it? What am I missing? Let's double check this. EMtron 4 bar predefined. Yep, I did a calibration before we started this tune. -1, 2. Yep, that's correct. Um, is that reference one? Yes, because I'm using the factory one. That makes sense. This is good. This is good. All that stuff is good. That's all fine. That's boost pressure. Let's check manifold pressure. And pressure reference 2. That's correct. 75 psi? That's not right. Oh, custom up here. Okay, here we go. Is that right? I think I have that sensor wrong. I think that's the wrong calibration. Um, yeah, that's what it is. That's a 10 bar sensor. How did that get changed? That is whack. That should be 150 psi sensor. Well, that explains why the exhaust pressure seems so low. That explains that. 75. This should be that. That's what it should be. Hmm. But that puts it like in a weird spot now. Yeah, it puts it at 2 bar exhaust pressure right now. That's not right. All right, what the fuck's going on here? Let's think about this. Exhaust pressure is on a rife, right? Is that a 5 bar or the rife is a 5 bar? That's what it is. The rife's bar. It was your fuel pressure that was a 150. Okay, so it was right before. I was like, man, that's something's not right. The 150 was the other sensor. This is a rife 5 bar as the sensor. So that would be correct. Okay. Okay, my brain was having I was skipping there. Okay, so rife 5, not a 10 bar. And that brings pressure right back to where it should be. Where'd it go? I lost it. Throttle, barrow, crankcase, servo. There. And that's right. Semi-parameters. All right, so that's not a thing, but what is this? So just that gate opens. We're getting a little transient. I wonder if the cam timing is changing right around this point or not. Let's double check that again. No, so that was flat. But right here, let's go back to that again. Okay, so it's here. Then there's a boop. Or as I start the poll, so it's holding steady. Dyno's loading it for 2 or 3 seconds, and then lets it car go. So that's where my foot's at full throttle here, and then it holds it through here. Dyno grabs it, it flares a smidge, smooths out, and exhaust pressure is climbing because boost is climbing as it's loaded for a little while. And it starts coming up, then that gate opens and it drops a little bit. Okay, so it's just getting a little pressure wave from it. I wonder where that sensor's at. Where's that sensor at, Nolan? Like, where's the your pickup line? Where's the pickup line for that sensor? Is it right before the turbo? That's what I'm wondering. Right after the wastegate, right before the turbo? Because if it's right after the wastegate before the turbo, that would totally make sense for sure. Um, wouldn't be a great spot for it. But if it's in the factory, I guess it's in that factory header. If it's in the normal up pipe header location where the O2 sensor would go, that should be fine. It shouldn't see that trend exactly. Um, if it's in the head, you shouldn't see that trend either. But if it was post wastegate, pre turbo, then I can see that happening. So let me know where that's at. If that's where it's at, we're going to move that. I'm going to change the way I tune this. Go to normal, whoopsie, normal VE table, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. Having the exhaust pressure is nice for doing it this way, but it's not required. We can go back to a normal VE table and we still have that data, and that data is still important. But take a look at that. Okay. So yeah, a little bloop bloop dip happening. And these are what, 140 limit, I think is what this turbo's a limit of, 140 and 15,000 RPM. We can make some shit happen here. We were already 500 and what wheel? 520? That's not to sneeze at. That's for sure. I didn't even turn the boost up yet. That's 8% on the duty cycle. Okay, let's add some more duty cycle to that. Let's see how controllable that boost is. Then I'll fuck with the V table a little more later. Let's do one thing at a time here. Okay, so whatever we get, it's going to add 8 to. So we're just going to go 15 like that. And then we will see where she goes. Yeah. Hey, we didn't add hardly any at all to it, actually, with that. Boost didn't go up hardly at all. So that's good. I pushed the clutch in before I let off the throttle. Zoom! 8,000. 81. 82? 8260. Oh no. That's sarcasm. Oh no. Okay, so it went up to 22, and we do not have an appreciable amount of boost increase. Okay, so that means that wastegate value really is about 22, 23 PSI is what we're getting out of the gate at gate pressure. All right, well, let's add some more. See if the boost goes up. If not, then I got to tell the guys they goofed up that controller redo. This is a 4-port boost controller hooked up like a 3. So we'll see if they did it right. And I'm excited with no timing on it, like I got. We're able to add a smidge of timing through the mid-range here. That's gonna pick the torque up some, like Nolan was asking me about before. You guys don't know about that. But don't need to add much time up here. It's take a little bit more, but not a lot more because it's still high compression. Things like 10 to 1. So 9/4. I never know with this freaking shifter. You can't tell shit. He's got on the dash though. I should just look at that. Nope. Time we do a full pull. Boost did not go up. That was 45%. So no, the guys didn't hook it up right. God damn it. God damn it. I would think by 40% I would see an action. I would see some action on the gate. All right. Well, I'm gonna go figure out what's wrong with that. In the meantime, before I do that, actually, we give it a chance just to idle and cool off a smidge. Get this keypad out. See what mode we're in. I have no lights illuminated right now, so I don't have anything turned on. So let's see. Let's say we want to turn on anti-lag. Which one should that be? This is going to be boost levels here. That one should be boost levels. This one can be, wait, which one is it? this one here, this analog one, can be boost levels too. So I mean, this would be more like driving mode, like Sport Sharp, whatever. Because I can do that with this. Cow slot control with this. We can do um, uh, 4 different spots, as you see on the screen go by there. So that's 4 different map groups on the EMtron. So that's this guy. So that's going to be low boost, medium boost, high boost maps on here. But that also is going to do other things as well that go with that. But essentially, just going to be power levels here. These are higher power levels. This can be a boost trim. This one here can be boost trim if we wanted it to be. It's got 8 positions, so we can use that as a trim if he needs to do that. But then we do things like launch control and stuff like that. So directly below it, or like over here somewhere. What do you guys think? What you, Nolan? It's your car. You're in chat here, I think. Exhaust manifold and the O2 bung on the header. Okay, interesting. By the pressure trace, I would have thought it was between the turbo and the gate. Okay, so what do you think? Which one do you want for for anti-lag, or I'm sorry, launch control? Do launch control first. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is A, B, C, D. So you tell me which one you want it on. Which one's launch control? 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. This one is already going to be our fuel maps and stuff, our drive modes. Yeah, we added a CAN bus to it. So it's got CAN bus for the EMtron keypad, CAN bus for the Haltech screen. I like launch, rolling launch, and boost trim closest. So drive modes, launch, rolling launch, and boost trim on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do that. So drive modes, launch, rolling launch, trim. Okay, let's do that. These solid engine mounts, man, they're they're fun. Launch control. Here we go. Function on. Function type. RPM limiting. Yep. Channels. Input. Motorsports. Launch enable switch. Input source. This is, I think, EMtron CAN button 2, I think is what we're talking about. You'll see user frequency, lambda distance, keypad button 2. Okay. On, off. Perfect. Bloop. Okay. Let's go here. Let's go to our switches. Okay. 2. Launch enable switch on. Yep. Off. All right. I got to change the switch to just an on off. So then we go communications, EMtron keypad, change button 2 to a 2-position toggle like that. And then go back to our F3. On, off. There we go. Light is on, it's on. Light is off, it's off. Perfect. I don't know if you guys can see the runtimes or not. Actually, I don't think you can. But I'm looking at a runtime screen that has all the inputs on it. Okay. So then rolling launch enable switch. That will also need to be a toggle 2 position. So we'll set that as a toggle 2, like that. And then we go to our channels, input, rolling launch enable switch, number 3. On and off, just like that. I'm going to hit F3, bring up those. Click it. All right, that switch works. Rolling launch enable. Okay. All right, traction control enable. We'll do that bottom left, I think. We'll do that as button 5 for now. F3, button 5. Yep, there it is. Okay, now we're going to do logging because I want you to be able to log on command if I got some shit for you to do. So log, just I guess the furthest from you, bottom right. We'll do that. Log in, be bottom right, furthest from you. EMtron keypad. The last one, we'll make this a toggle as well so you can see when we're logging, when you're not logging. Okay, channel input. And where is the logging switch on that? I think it's under switches. Right there. That'll be CAN button 8. Hit OK. We'll go to F3 again, check my thing. Login, enable, on, off. Yep, there we go. All right. I like launch, rolling, trim boost. That works. Or rolling bottom left. I mean, whatever you want. I don't care. But you see how easy it is to change. So as long as it's already a toggle, so we'll say rolling, motorsports, rolling launch, bottom left is currently set up as a toggle. And so that'd be 5. That. And then I got to change traction control to say number 6. Now, traction control is not yet set up on this. None of these are. That's why I'm just doing it now. But we can eventually get them set up. 3. Traction, rolling launch, launch control, and nothing on 3 right now. And boost trim is not on 4 yet. Okay, and then to change that, we go to tuning, functions, boost control, boost target, offset tables, and then user target 1. This is based on our cow slot and our button. Oh, there it is. I already did it. Yeah, there we go. I already did it. Look at that. So basically, this adds or subtracts from our map. So we go super aggressive, number 4, and then all 3 lit here. This is whatever the highest boost map is, plus 30 kPa. That's what that means. So another 3 point something pounds, or 4 pounds or so. And then like that, and that's low. So I already set that one up apparently. All right. What other functions do we want to enable? Don't need dual boost because we're on cal control for that. Pit lane limiter or valet. You could put a limiter switch on 3 to act like a valet switch to keep the car limited 12 miles an hour or whatever. But he'd hit that on accident. That would suck. Uh, he'll start. We don't have that function, obviously. Oh, cruise. Oh, he's got cruise in here. Oh, but it's hooked up. I don't know if his cruise is hooked up. Does he have enough buttons for that? Was there enough inputs available for his cruise? Looks like we stole one. Usually, though, I use the cruise cancel for the rolling launch. So we turn it on here, and then this enables and disables it. So when you grab it, it latches, and we let go, it splits. So we go check that out. So the traction control isn't yet turned on. Can't do rev matching because we don't have a way to select gears on this, like to tell it what we're going for. So can't use that unless we add some sort of decoder to the transmission for that. Flame control is literally for making flames come out your tailpipe. They're actually going to get rid of that feature pretty soon. They're talking about it the other day. Trans brake, we don't have that. No water spray currently. Differential control, you have DCCD, but we could, if you had aftermarket controllers, we could feed it something, but you don't. Gear shift control, that's not a thing because we're manual. Gear cut control, that's a manual as well. You don't have a strain gauge. If you had a strain gauge, we could try that, but you don't. Trash control, we haven't set that up. And we may or may not. I got to figure out if we have enough inputs on here to get it to work correctly. I'll have to see what's in here. Typically, what we can do with the EMtron is if we get it mounted, not the way the factory ECU is mounted, but get it mounted slightly differently, so that at least one of the axes is flat or vertical. If we can do that, then we can use the onboard accelerometers on the EMtron. The EMtron will guess how fast you're going, and it calculates how fast you're going based on what the accelerometers say. So when you're stopped, it knows when you're stopped, and then you start to accelerate, then it knows based on the accelerometers, right, your rate of acceleration and the time you've been doing it, it knows how fast you're going. Wouldn't work on the dyno, so that would not be a good idea to try and use that on the dyno because it would always indicate you're not going anywhere. But on the road and on the track, it can pretty much calculate your speed. Um, and what you do is you use that and compare it to wheel speed and create a delta that's allowable, and outside that delta, you know you're spinning. So we would use the onboard speed that the EMtron uses, and then we use your tire speeds to determine your final speed, or the sorry, not to get the tire speed versus the actual speed, and then that gives us the ability to know when you slip it. But of course, obviously, if that happened, I can't have this thing reading 5 miles an hour fast when we're doing 60. So got to calibrate the actual speed just a smidge better and get that closer, and those things will be cool. So speaking of that, let's see if I can get to that. So our scalar is 235 right now. So it's indicating too fast. So that means I got to bring this diameter down about 10%. So I'm just going to go 600. Well, that's a big change, though. Rolling diameter. Oh, yeah, that's still a huge change. That's weird. It's 235. These tires should be about 660. That's the right size for these tires. If I calculate that, what's that give me? 385. Hmm. So this essentially is not 8. Uh, hmm. Let's try that. See how far off that is. Too far. Now it says 55. Okay. Perfect. So 2 6 is the magic number for this card. Okay. One second. I see much stuff here. Let me check these comments out. Makes me want a keypad. They're fun, but that should probably come at figuring out why the damn car hates my cam trigger. I mean, I don't know how many times I gotta tell you. Let's get the fucking thing tuned. Let me do it. We use cruise control. It wouldn't work with the Hull Tech. Yeah. I had to steal one input though, like I said, for the turbo speed. Um, for no, for ethanol. I had to steal one for ethanol because we would have. I should have took AC request, but I don't know if we can run AC request because it's DI1 on us. You can't use all the DIs for the same things, so I have to figure that out. Oh, but I could move the cruise to that. Um, yeah, I could have moved the cruise to that. So I can move that from 7 to 1. Dude, I might have done that already, actually. Let's see, DI 110. Okay. Okay, so I moved the brake to here, and then I moved that to DI 8. So that became turbo speed. Yeah, so DI 8's turbo speed, right. Okay, so I use the TGV wires. They go back here and put that on turbo speed for DI 8. That got rid of nothing, but DI 11. Oh, so I moved cruise to DI 11. That's what that says. Okay, so resume Excel switch is on 11. So let's check that out. I have two mics. I mean, I can put this out there, but it might get kind of loud. Let's find out. But you got to hear it idle, though. It sounds cool. It's idling at 1,000 RPM. It still sounds badass, though. I don't know if it picks it up or not. I don't know if the mics do or not. I'll do one rip down here. We'll see that. Hello, hello. There it goes. This might pillow. I want the other one turned off too. Turn the sun down. So you couldn't hear the car exhaust at all? I couldn't hear. God damn it. Or you just couldn't hear me? Because right now, yeah, it's both channels show my voice. That's slow. All right. Let's hear that. All right. I'm gonna drop the mic. All right, so take a leak and then get this boost line figured out, and then do some boost control pulls over it.
So that's quite loud. Sorry. Huh?
No, where's the volume?
Oh my God. Probably fix that shit.
Yeah, gotta be the hoses. I don't know how they hook it up.
Um, so Nolan, what's the thread pitch on these fittings here? Are these 1/8 inch MPT or are these straight metric thread? They look funny.
Sounds like me, 2 extra.
That should work now. We should have boost control. We don't want 40 though. I think 40 is going to be too much. But we'll do 30. 95 psi overrush. Man, this thing is so much. Great. Coolant temp 170. Oil temp's definitely hot enough. Let's cancel that. That one was running. And hit that. Okay. So that was 15. I guess it does have a smaller spring in it. Why was it doing so much boost before? What? Oh, because they were venting off the boost line. That's what it is. Let's go 55. Oops, wrong gear. This gives us. All right, what the fuck? Did I put the plug on the wrong line? I might have. See, that was a 35%, and this was 56%. And boost was the same. I might have that valve plumbing energized versus de-energized backwards. I didn't blow through it. I was going to blow through it. I didn't blow through it. I should have blew through it to verify that. I thought they were straight through normally and then crossed when they energized, but they could be crossed normally and that way. If that's the case, then I have it backwards. No, that's how I got it. That should be fine. 0% bottom. There's an add duty cycle that goes to that. Yeah. Hmm. So I have it going from here to here. Solenoid is energized. It crosses over. Yeah. It gets vented. Yeah. That should be just like it is. It crosses over. I got it going to the plug, and that blocks flow from the compressor. Alright, what the fuck? Well, I have it right, so I don't understand what's going on. It's correct. That's all fine. And this table here doesn't even part of the open loop table. I just enabled it real quick to make sure it wasn't zero in case there was something weird happening with it. But I mean, it clearly shows on here that it's 40% or 55% in the log right here. But it didn't change at all. I didn't do anything. And so a four port, right? It connects top and bottom like this, and then when it's off, and then when it's on, it crosses them. Okay, so the way it is right now, I've got compressor on one side, wastegate on the other. So when you're at zero duty cycle, it's straight through. Supply power to the gate. And then when you cycle it on, it crosses. So the compressor one crosses, and I got a plug on there to stop the compressor. And then this one goes to atmosphere, to vent. So it should vent off the lower part of the wastegate and raise boost and block the flow from the compressor. But it ain't doing it. It's not changing a damn thing. And that is a little weird. Okay, I'm going to trigger the gate. I'm going to set it on here, and I'm going to test the output. I'm going to go and see if anything, it's clicking in my hand. Test mode, low side, PWM, frequency, 30 hertz, duty cycle, 50%. All right, let's see if she's tapping. Off of the thing. Oh, it's unplugged. Wait. There it is. Now it's tapping. It was unplugged. Yay! All right. Although I don't like 30. 30 sounded a little hollow or a little too fast for it. It's 25. Okay, we found it. It was unplugged. I don't know how it got unplugged, but it was unplugged. Maybe when I was tugging on the lines, it popped it open or not, but I don't know. Okay. Now we're unplugged. That's good. All right, now we're plugged back in. Let's go back again one more time. Gonna lower this initial duty. We don't want to do 55. We're gonna do 30. So here we go. Now we're talking. 26. Look at that boost curve with no closed loop control. It's kind of like, woo. See, it's like climbing, and the exhaust pressure comes up. to meet it, and exhaust passes it, and then it's falling, 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 falling. That's with a flat 35% across the board. You see the kind of shape that we're getting. Turbo is looking good. All that stuff works. Okay, so 30%, I know now, 30% is right around 26 pounds right here. It said 27 on the screen. So, but this looks like it's more than that. Looks like it's almost 30. Oh, okay. And then this guy, okay, so 30% got us to there. It's kind of high. It's kind of high, but we know 0% gets us 14. So I have 30% to work with up to, in the mid 20s. Uh, so at the high 20s to 30s, at least at the top end of this gate or this turbo, we're probably going to be in like the 45 to 50 at redline up here to hold boost. Okay, that's good news. That's good news there. All right, so got that part figured out. That's working. Now the problem is the damn fuel map. Why? Oh, wait, that's even now. So at low boost, it's not the same. Look at that. At low boost, when you get into the high boost areas, it fucking gets right in on each other. That part's interesting. Okay. So let's look at tune, see how far off our air fuel is through this region. Lambda, let's switch on the lean side. For ethanol, it's safe. I mean, you could run 8.5 ethanol, honestly, but if you're gonna be on the track, you're gonna want it richer. Basically, as well now. If you're gonna be on the track, you want it richer because you want to pull all that heat out of the engine. So 16 degrees of time. Look how low it gets. 5. 5 degrees. And it could take more. And I will give it more because you see how it dips down there, the torque drops. It's just 5's not enough, obviously. But when I'm trying to test stuff and trying to get it to behave, you don't want to have much timing on it because what happens if the boost decides to really behave in the bad way, right? Then we're talking doing what boost likes to do best, and that's take the heads and put them somewhere else. And we don't want that. We want to keep the block and the heads in intimate contact. We don't want to lift them. So, especially if you're in a track car. For example, this tuner here, if I didn't change a damn thing and he took this to the track, after a couple laps, he would probably pick up horsepower because he would definitely pick horsepower. He would pick up power, especially in the mid-range. The mid-range would go up because the amount of heat that's going to be absorbed in the engine is going to speed up his burn speed, and the amount of ignition advance that he needs will go down. And so what happened is the necessary advance, the needed advance, the optimum advance value is going to drop and be closer to his actual timing than what it's set at now. And that's something you have to keep in mind when you're doing endurance racing. You got to know that. You have to know you cannot put a dyno-tuned car on the track, fresh off the dyno, that made the most power. You can't do that. It will absolutely fail on you. Drag strip, you can sometimes get away with it. But on an endurance racing and long racing, no, you will not get away with it. You will smoke it. So yeah, this motor will pick up power, especially in the mid-range. What time is it? Especially in the mid-range, on the track. After, like I said, after like a few laps. So, okay, but okay. So our air fuel, we see we're adding 6 to get to target here. Now we're pulling 3 because it was a little too much. Now we're adding 8, adding 9, we're adding 10%, adding 11% right here. Look at that. Okay. So where's that coming from? Well, throttle is still higher than map here in this case, so definitely add to the VE. We add to the VE, that should bump it up a little bit. But we may find ourselves needing to add some, yeah, that's only 3% difference, to the outflow scaler as well. What's interesting though is that outflow scaler is going to push this all up too, and we don't want that. So let's go back to tuning real quick, go to TMF, and see what I have in my crush table. 0. I had 0 in the crush table, and then outflow crush table, we had 5 cross tail before. All right, well, that's good news because we know that in this whole area here, it's too high. So you have to bring that back down. And then up here, we're already adding 5. So we're going to go to 10 here and like this. But what we did see before, though, is that it was way too high at the lower boost pressures, right? In the low boost pressure, it was way high and almost like 20% high. And that was at this boost pressure here. So this needs to be 0. Okay, so we got to take this and we got to raise this manifold pressure on this map up a little bit. So we're going to go this guy like this. We're going to get rid of that and that one. And then we're going to go, we're going to 250 and 300 like that. Big old jump there. Yep, sure, interpolate that for me. It's going to be linear anyways. And then we'll take this and we're going to add a few more percent to it. Like so. And we're doing one of those. So that's what we're going to add to it right now. And honestly, this guy should go to about here, like that. That's what we need for that. And now I got to go to my VE table to here. And it looks like we're right here. Let's double check my log. See my point? Yep, we're right here. Then we'll go back to tuning. So we're at this zone here. And this one we were adding about 10%. Is that what we showed? Tune. Where are we at? 8% right there. So we're going to add 8% to this, which is kind of high, honestly. I'm a little surprised by that. All right, that's what it is. So we're going to multiply by 8. There we go. Take this guy. I'm just going to do one of these numbers, like that. And then we're going to take this guy. Go that way a little bit. And we're going to go to the log here. And we're going to go to this point. See where that is? Right there. So that 14 is high, according to this. Nope, that was too much, Dominic. A little aggressive there. Knock that down some. Okay. All right. Then this spot here, we're adding 7% again. Where's that? Right there. Okay. So this whole area here is going to want a little bit of fuel. That. Okay. And we may get to where we need to blend this down smidge like this. We need to pull that up or, who knows what. We'll see when that happens. Okay. Now, in reality, never mind. What I was going to say, ignore it. I didn't say it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go here. I go to ignition, table 2. See where we are in that table at the bottom of it. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go to setup. I'm going to go out here. And I'm not going to expand the table. I'm going to bring this number up. So 2.6, let's say. What's my increment here? 08. Looks like 08. 0.108 increment. Okay. Having second thoughts. I'm going to expand the table. Sure. Can expand the table, but what I am going to do is take this column and put it down here. that. And then I'm going to take this guy, you know, like that. So that's going to add about 3 degrees of timing to it for that whole bottom range there. So we add about 3 degrees to it. Yeah. Now, that might be too much ramp. Might be too much ramp. But we'll find out after this poll. So save that to the ECU. Store that. Now let's go to boost control. Oopsie. Boost control. Let's put this back in a closed loop. Absolute target. Initial. We know if our target is 280, we're looking at 30 here. And we're looking at like 40 here. So I'll do this guy like that. And then take this guy. Just gonna do this. And then I'll do that guy. Oops, that's way too much. Look at that. That. This has got to go down. So wastegate pressure is here. And this is going to be, yeah, fuck it, let's do this. Let's do this for now. That. Okay. Okay, we're just going to do cycles up with boost. Got a couple little bumps in here. Right here. That. Okay. Now we go to our table. Gosh darn it. I know I didn't hit that. Oh, my thumb did. Oh, you twat. So we're at the 235 target right now. So we're going to hit this guy. That one. High boost map. And then high boost should put us here. And our comp table, I have it set at basically 0. So that's what the target's going to be. Okay. All right, high boost map, here it goes. Check the chat. Anybody even in here? Am I talking to myself? Stage 2. Yep, 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 yep. All right, we're gonna bring that whole mid-range up on this pole. In theory, that's what it should do. Well, that's my brain says it should do. What it should do is whatever fucking happens, I guess. Nope. I didn't have a duty cycle on it. Boost was lower. Boost was lower, not a duty cycle. Let's go back to my boost. Duty cycle was 25. Oh yeah, because now I'm in closed loop control and that other map is now active. The one I showed you guys earlier. One is active now. Forgot to turn that off. That is this guy. Max duty. Now we're going to allow this to be, let's say, a 60 up top. This. This. Like so. This can come down later for that right now. Okay, but let's look at this log real quick since we did it anyways. This was a flat 25%, so we got some build, some drop like we would expect. Turbo speed was slow, 114. I think what's the W for this? Yeah. And then air mass, look at that, right on, that's good. A little separation here, so like we had before, but they're right on each other through this zone. Tune-wise, air-fuel ratio, 2%, that ain't bad. 4% right there, a little bit, I'm okay with that. 6%, I don't want that. That one I want to fix. So I need to fix that guy right here. So I add 6% right there. Really? Right there? What's VE1 say? Okay, so I had VE1. It's a blend right now, the two of them. So we're gonna add some of the one. How much is my blend right now? Mostly the second table though. Ah, it's crazy. It's 6% right there. We just added some to that zone. So remember, it's passing through it, right? So it's not just that zone. It's the stuff on the way through. Okay. 6% there. Got that. What was the timing? 8 degrees there, so it didn't go up much there, but I expect that because we're still in that upper slope that I didn't change. It's not till we got the high boost that we raise the timing up, but uh, we'll see. Okay. And oh, also, so 25 gave us 250. So we'll look at our map again for tuning, for boost control, and look at our initial table. So 25% gave us 250. So my target's 250. I got 20 here. 22, 20 things. So it's a smidge low. It's a smidge low. We're just gonna do the whole thing. What's that per click? 5. Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. So my gear selector off now. Oh, god damn it. Are you serious? Okay, later. Hey, jam was made. I would say jam was made, huh? Yeah, yeah. Many horsepowers arrived. I gotta change the scaling. Well, there's your 600 plus right there, dude. 6.8, 617. That's honestly fucking cool because these turbos, the 770s never did that. And so this is the 8 something, and it is doing that. And that's cool. That's really cool. Let's see, what is our boost level on that? The screen said 27, but the log says 30. The log says 31, 32, so um I gotta add in the difference for elevation. Oh, this is elevation too, yeah. So let's see. So that says 318. Okay, second. So 3.18 times 14.7 minus 14.7. Be 32, but we're a pound here. So 33 peak. 33 pounds of boost peak is what that was. But at red line, it was down at 30. So 33 peak to 30. So it's falling. And if we look at our boost control, the gate is going up, 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 up like that. So the gate is increasing and it's trying to keep the boost up, but it's not going up. It's not staying up. It's dropping for sure. Exhaust pressure now is way up there. And we can see our turbo speed, 140,000 RPM, which I think technically is the limit for this turbo. Can't complain about that. Happy with that. Okay, so now let's look at the timing. Uh, Timing's 8.5 through the bottom, and then 16 up top. Yeah, I wouldn't want to run much more than that. Honestly, this thing is like 10 to 1, like I said. But let's see how that power curve is affected and see if we can do anything. That's a little high. Could lower that a smidge, but there's still a little dip right here in the mid at 55. Do you want to get that up? That's probably going to need a cam timing change. Oh, cam timing change there in the mid range should fix that potentially. We'll look at other things. Obviously, timing being low plays a factor in that as well. How low is the timing at 53? 53. Oh yeah, still 8. Okay, so we need to bump that up. That needs to come up. But I'm actually going to check the pump gas map area because the pump gas map area means we're maxed out on the pump gas way up here. And it's 5.6 on the pump. Oh, it's actually worse than that because we're exceeding this limit and it's interpolating linearly downward. So I bet actually if I took this here and I made the next one the exact same line, then the interpolation stops and that's the floor. So the pump gas is subtracting from it a bunch because I've hit the floor. I haven't given it the floor. It just keeps going down. And then that's 20% of the timing. And the other 80% is this map here. And this map here, we are at, we're at 8. So yeah, we just need to bump this up through here a little bit. I think that, yeah, if we had a little more timing through this range, it'll probably pick right up in that zone. I just don't like to go crazy with it here because this is, how you lift heads. And this car, like I said, is going to see the track. So we don't want to go balls to the wall and timing here because the track will find the weakness. And I mean, this has my pistons and my rods in it. I like to avoid that happening and my cams. So it's got my pistons, my rods, my cams. I don't want it to. I don't want to kill it. I'm not the other guy. Let's just put it that way. I'm not the other guy whose idea is to spend his customers' money by blowing up their shit all the time. That's not me. That is not me. I want my customers to enjoy their stuff for a period of time. And I want it in a hurry to just be like, oh man, your car was really cool. It's blown up now. Give me more money. And then put on the dyno and they go, hey, it's really cool. Hope we enjoyed those 2 days. Oh, it's blown up now. Give me more money. That's not my thing. I'm not the other guys that say, oh, we just tune it in between builds. That's not me either. I mean, I will tune it between builds, but that's not the goal. The goal is for that in between build section to be me talking to you and hearing you glow about how awesome your car was on the track and all that. That's what I want. I want I want it to feel more like a team and all of that. All right, so we're putting a floor on this. I take that back. We're not putting a floor on this. We're not putting a floor on it. We're just adding a little bit of a slower taper. Okay. Okay, that'll bump that section up quite a bit, I think. If it doesn't, then we'll have to adjust timing. Cam timing. This guy right here. But I think it will, because we're going to pass through, yeah, right here. What's that? Wait, what? Oh, I probably do need to drop it down some. Wow, that's got a lot in there still. Really, the exhaust pressure hasn't gone up that much yet? Sorry, exhaust pressure. Oh, they're right at equal right there. Oh, look at that. Okay. So yeah, let's pull that down a smidge too then. Just take this guy. Just make this a 30 right there. drop these two. That. Okay. Drop this one like that. Okay. Let me make this the lowest 30. Let's go 25. That should pep that zone up. How's the fight? Lost in a intercooler pipe. Doesn't look like I picked that zone up though. Definitely added timing. Added 2 or more degrees right there. Cam timing just started to come down right there. Okay, and the map still has the dip. Still has the dip. I need to do a drastic change with the cam timing and see what happens because 2 degrees of ignition advance not bringing that up means I got to take that time back out again, right? It means technically I don't need it there. It means that that's too much. Um, yeah, power didn't go up, so I don't need the timing there. But this, I might need just to suck it down and go closer to zero quicker. I don't feel like I should. I feel like it should be doing fine right there. Oh yeah, I also want to enrich my target up top too. I'll do that while I'm here. Okay, that's definitely pump. That's definitely ethanol. Oh good, it did go richer. 8. Okay, so it's just this zone right here, which is a smidge. Go down a little bit. Like that. Like a so. Hmm. Still dipping a little bit. Timing didn't fix it. All right, let's figure out which boost pipe popped off. Probably off the turbo again. That's what it was last time. That coupler doesn't seem to want to stick very good. Oof, man, I'm not feeling good. Hmm. Could raise the map a smidge right there if I wanted to. Just need to lower this section a little more. Maybe drop down some. We're lagging behind the target a smidge, so gotta start coming down a little earlier. Probably add a little bit to the PID to try and draw it down a little quicker to get it to fall a little better, but that's still pretty good for a cam system, especially with these springs on here. Okay. Well, you saw it, folks. Timing did no thing. So many times, you guys are like, well, why don't you just put more timing in it? I wanted more X or Y. And I'm like, I didn't want to do it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Timing doesn't always add power. That's what's important to realize, that timing is not power. Timing is not a volume knob for power. Timing is all about timing. By timing, I mean getting the cylinder pressure to go up when you need it to go up at the right time versus crankshaft rotation. Right? That's what ignition timing is about. Ignition timing is cylinder pressure timing. It's not anything else. It's not a horsepower indicator. It's nothing. It is cylinder pressure. And I don't want to use timing in the definition when I'm trying to define timing. It is cylinder pressure coordination. There you go. It's coordinating the cylinder pressure in sync with crankshaft rotation. That is what ignition MAS does. Okay. Let idle long enough. Saved all my changes. Boost control seemed really good. Happy with that. Yeah, off turbo again. This is not the right size coupler on this turbo. Let's say what? 620.
That's fucking tits.
Yeah, and it would do more if the intercooler coupler stayed on.
Blew off.
Just a turbo again. Yeah, one from before. It's just the wrong coupler. I mean, it's you could tell it was cut to fit that turn, and it gets bigger as it reaches that turning point. So, what are you looking for?
Knock sensor.
For what?
14 WRX.
With the factory 14 WX plug on it and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 14 WX harness and all that shit too?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just a 14 WRX.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like a modified one or if it's when you're doing one of your things. Oh, I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. Don't say anything offensive. Do it! I dare you. Which lady on the train? The internet knows? Not that that motherfucker right there is not a real thing, because that was on an airplane.
There's a video going around. This gal gets into it with a bunch of people, and right as the door is closing, she says a slur, and then everyone on the bus freaks out, but it's a train and the door closed. So like,
Yeah, really? She was like chicken eater and the door shut, and then
I mean, it's I wouldn't say
gotcha. Ugh. I'm allergic to chicken, so chicken eater is a slur. In case you guys didn't know that part. Efficiency of the air pump to make power. Kind of. Make dinner so much since he said 100 boost. I need 33 pounds. You're maxed out though, dude. Your fuel is maxed. Like we maxed out 1750s at 100% IDC. So I'm not sure. I mean, are we at 33 pounds? Yeah, your last log set was like 33 pounds, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. Your last log set, we were in the low 30s. And yeah, and your fuel's maxed. So speaking of which, what's this guy at? He's probably pretty close. He's probably maxed out too, honestly. So that log, I bet we're at freaking almost 100% IDC on this bitch. No, we're only at 60? Oh, this is the one that we just lost the coupler. I'm like, what? No way. Yeah, the previous log. So how to do that? Manage log files. Go to the previous one. This one. Close. Oh, right at 72. Interesting. Interesting. Look at that. It like just lays right over. Wow. So we hit a wall with that. That is a fucking wall. That is interesting. Looks like the air mass. I mean, it's dipping hard. It's dipping hard. The turbo's still spinning. It's still climbing in speed. But even with the increase in speed, we're losing a lot of flow. What are cams at? Cams were 6 degrees. They might need to be 0 by then. That might help out. Put that at 0. That might pick power up there. Let's go to that right there. Let's go to our target. Right there. That's where that is. At this boost pressure, it might want to be 0. I'm going to hit that right there. Bonk. And then throw a little bit of that. Yeah. Okay. Man, that just hits a fucking wall, though. That's crazy. And the exhaust pressure, look at, like, exhaust pressure is now going way above boost pressure. I mean, this isn't like a stock turbo STI. It's even more grotesque. It's like 3 times your boost pressure almost. Um, so yeah. But look at this proportional or integral. I mean, 5% up top. Oh, I 5% during spool. Okay, and then 4% here. We're back to 5% at red line, trying to hold on to that. It's going up. So yeah, I don't know. That's where the other people stop watching, right? They're like, just well, I mean, if we want 40 pounds of boost, we've got to add more duty cycle. Like, duh, right? But they're not paying attention to what the engine is telling them. And in this case, engine saying, um, the turbo's saying, I'm at my limit. Like, we are on that. Like, we are at that limit hard. Um, yeah, we're at that limit hard. Okay, what wasn't working before? What wasn't working? We were doing something that was, the boost limit. That's right. The boost limit wasn't working before. So I told EMtron about it, the map limit, and they figured out that there is indeed an error with that. So take it off cow slot, as they're saying. And then that should work. Our limit is set based on boost target. Good. But our boost target here is going above our table, which means that if our boost target is too high, we're going to have an issue. So we got to add some to that. So this is going to be 325, like that. In fact, boost target 200, increment 20. What's that give us? 400. That's a little aggressive. That's fine. Fuck it. Okay, but look at that. See how I had that linear and just fucked up the interpolation. Now, in no situation is the boost target at low ethanol going to ever be 400. So that's something to keep in mind. So I don't need that 400 table to even work at all. So we're going to do this, go like this, go like this. Go one more. No. Yes. Go one more, like that. And then go like that. And then this guy, her boost target is 200. And most I'm going to want to do is 230, 240. This should be up high. And this should be 235, like that. I'll do that. I don't need it to be higher. If my target is my target, I don't need it to be crazy. And then like that. So if 260 is my target, on pump, do I have 260 as a target? I might have 260 as a target at some point. So I got to fix that. So if I'm at pump, and 300 is my target, which I don't think it ever is. But if it is, I want that to be right. There we go. Like that, and like that. And then I got to fix that here. And 320. Let's go like this. 335. And go like this. For the most part, my boost limit should be based on my target, regardless of fuel type. But if something's weird happening, I kind of want it to happen faster, you know? And I don't think I'm ever going to have a target above that. 320, I don't think I have a target above 320. So I really could just get rid of these upper sections here. I don't need them. 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 2 pounds. Okay. There we go. Where'd my logging go? How high did I boost get? Yeah, 318. Okay, good. So we got room. Got room there. That should start working again. Let me save that. And let's see.
You still streaming in there?
I am.
We're wondering where you went. We're like, get in there by himself.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm in practicing all my slurs
Don't.
live on stream. I figured that was the way you do it, right?
Dude, if you had more than 10 viewers, we'd be fucked.
Right? Yeah. No shit. If there was more than 4.5 people in here hanging out, that'd be a serious issue. Yeah.
If you broke into double digits, we'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be bad news for sure. Yeah, but then I would say a bunch of shit and it would go 13, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then the comments would be like, you're a scumbag, bigot! Because someone put that shit on fucking TikTok. This guy just said this, and then they jump all over that shit. I guess. I'm guessing. I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I've never been canceled.
That's surprising. That's shocking.
I got canceled in the Subaru world for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, you were promoting Pizzagate, so
Pizzagate. Was I?
yeah, weren't you?
I don't know. What is that? Oh, Chicago pizza's garbage, dude. Fuck that. The fuck? Chicago pizza's gross.
Sure.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm a pizza connoisseur here, so saying, I mean, it's not even pizza. It's really just a Chicago like Italian soup. It's like, I think it's on the bottom, right? It's on the, but the sauce is on top
Oh,
instead of under the cheese. It's on the bottom. Yeah. Yeah, I like getting a fucking tomato mustache. You know, that sounds great.
saying it's a burn.
Yeah, right. Ugh, ugh. You just get clean cheese and crust at that point. It's a quesadilla cleaner. All right.
You gotta give me a pull, right?
I mean, unless you got a better coupler that'll stay on. I'd like to do another one at some point, but yeah. Yeah, I gotta call it. They're closed. They need to go home. So, well, we know what it can do. We know that it can do 600 and whatever. We know the turbo is maxed out by their legal limits. We can run it a little harder, but you see in the log how big of a wall that is. You know, you see even just the fuel alone. The dew cycle just flat, right? We're not getting more air in this engine. It just ain't happening. Dew cycle's flat as can be, and jet dew cycle and waste dew cycle still climbing. So the only way we get more air in this engine potentially is zeroing the cams out a smidge earlier. But even then, see how close this is zero, and the fact that even after it hits zero, it's or within 2 degrees of zero, basically zero. It still didn't make a difference. So yeah, it's the turbo's done, or something in the engine is done, and it could be floating valves, right? Like it could be floating valves. My cams need some gigantic springs on them. I don't know what springs are in this, but it might just be that the valves are starting to float right there. That is totally possible. If they're regular GSCB hives, that's probably what's going on. If they're the high pressure conicals, then that's not what's going on. But it could just be floating valves. You can see how the horsepower kind of lays over up there a little bit too as the boost went up. So that's possible. Tiny bit of valve float. Big bad meanie head dump. That's right. Hater of pizza and 2.5 liter blocks. I love pizza. I just hate Chicago style pizza. I make a ton of pizza. In fact, you should go in my channel, go to my cooking thing, and just look at how many times I posted pizzas. I made 2 this weekend. I made 2 pizzas and they were bomb. They were awesome. So it looks like 10 people. IAG calls it a 235. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, right? They call it 234. Because a 235 is a stroke 2.2 liter. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm done. I'm just closing up my stream. Well, no, I need to do another poll. Got to fix the coupler. But we got to find some. Why? You need to put some on here? Oh, ready for what? Oh, like delivering it? Oh, sure. No, there's more that has to happen still. I got to get all the motorsport stuff done. Not on the dyno. I don't think that on the dyno because obviously the GPS doesn't work on the dyno. But yeah. No, I got to do some more shit. All right. I think so. Depends if this. I got him. Okay. I got a bunch.
I've sold like 4. No, I know. I'm saying I've sold 4 like outside of you guys. Yeah. I don't know why they work really good in all kinds of places. The marketing email. They might have fucked that up, dude. They might have accidentally done that. Like just one person in marketing calls that because I thought on their shop was a 234. Maybe they changed their mind and started calling it 5 so they can, the displacement seems higher and to make it more. Like when Ford and Chevy they did the 427, 428. They're just like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna do 1 more cubic inch more, 428. Oh, I got the 429, 1 more cubic inch, right? Like they did that shit in the fucking 60s and 70s. I get the 350. Well, I get the 351, right? They did all that bullshit. So maybe that's what they're doing. Well, mine's the 235, not the 234. Take that. So it's probably one of those things. Unless they're punching them out even more. Interesting. Yeah, because the 235 has always been the stroke 2.2, and the 234 has always been the D stroke 2.5. So, because it's like 2.34 something, like, so I don't know. Who knows? It's whatever. I don't give a shit. They can do whatever they want. It's their own thing. It's their thing. It's my engine, but it's their engine, right? I made it available. They made it popular. It's just basically, Chaps Pastrana made it popular, and then they capitalized on that. Let's just be honest. Vermont Sports Car made the fucking, look at that, way better. Way better. Probably bump this corner up a smidge like this. That might get make a little more power up top. See, it's kind of high here, and then it starts falling. That could explain the power flattening a little bit. It won't explain the airflow and the fuel flow, but actually the power kind of leveling off around 67. You might need just a smidge more ramp right here. Yeah. But anyways, I gotta call it because they need to close. They're waiting on me, so I gotta go. But we're that much closer. Obviously, Nolan needs a oh wow, good thing I fucking saved that just now. Nolan needs a better coupler. Need a better coupler, dude. So that's it. All right, guys. I will see y'all later. Have a good night. Friday I should be tuning again and I should be streaming again. If it's this thing, I'll be finishing up. And then I might have a Forester, but I think that guy rescheduled with me, if I recall correctly. I think he said he wanted to reschedule, which was good because that gave me time to finish this one on Friday, if that's what it comes down to. So we'll see. And I will see you guys later. Later, dude. Later, Justin. Later, Kenneth. And the other 8 people who are in here. I need a bot. I need a few bots just to view bot this shit up to 28. See you guys. Have a good night. Later, Mark. I didn't know you were in here. I got 2 marks in here.